Anna Valarthia Vanampati. The nightingale fostered by the elephant. Lakshmi, along with her infant daughter Meena, is preparing for a trip to Singapore where they will reunite with her husband. She said goodbye to her brother and his family. He has a baby named Mohana. Her sister-in-law and nephew, Shekhar, say goodbye. Singapore bound, Lakshmi's journey was tragically cut short in a devastating plane crash. In the aftermath of the crash, a colossal figure emerged from the dense jungle. Bhima, a gentle giant of an elephant. He stumbled upon the tiny survivor and, with a tenderness that belied his size, carried her deep into the emerald depths, to a man named Dharmarajan. Dharmarajan visited the crash site and discovered the horrifying truth: the baby was the sole survivor. The family anxiously awaited news, only to be met with the devastating reality of the plane crash. Lakshmi's husband returned from Singapore, his heart heavy, and sought solace in his native place with his sister and nephew, Shekhar. Years spun by like the wind, transforming young Shekhar into a sharp, resourceful private investigator. Lakshmi's brother, harboring a long-held hope, desired his daughter Mohana's hand in marriage for Shekhar. But a shadow fell across this prospect. His wife, her ambitions set on her brother's son, Alakan, as Mohana's future husband. Shekhar enlisted the help of two assistants, Idea and Action, to aid him in his investigations. Because Alakan was uneducated, Mohana rejected him. Deep within the forest, a band of robbers prepared to ambush a group of travelers. They attacked with ruthless efficiency, killing their victims and seizing all their valuables. The government, stung by the brazen attack, issued a decree. A substantial reward awaited the individual or group who apprehended the savage robbers. With the government's reward as his motivation, Shekhar set out into the dense, untamed forest, his band of companions following close behind. Deep within the forest's embrace, Molly, the once lost child, had grown into a woman of breathtaking grace. Her world was a sanctuary, shared with her dearest companions, the noble elephant, Bhima, and the spirited chimpanzee, Adiyapan. Their paths crossed in the shadowed depths of the forest. Shekhar and Molly met, and she warns him not to hurt any animals. Word reached the robbers that Shekhar and his men had established a camp within their territory. Molly narrowly escaped the clutches of the robbers, thanks to the swift intervention of Bhima. The close call left Dharmarajan deeply concerned, and he urged her to be vigilant. A gaping maw opened in the forest floor, a trap set by the robbers for the mighty Bhima. But it was Molly, unsuspecting, who plunged into its depths. Adiyapan, his eyes wide with alarm, scurried through the trees to summon Dharmarajan. Molly's cries echoed through the forest, a desperate plea against the cold, earthen walls of the pit. Then, a tremor in the ground, a rustle of leaves, and Bhima was there. With a surge of unimaginable strength, he hauled her from the darkness, back into the light. Kandapan's command was clear: Shekhar and his men must die. A robber raised his weapon, poised to deliver the fatal blow. But before he could strike, Molly appeared, a blur of motion. She struck first, her unexpected attack ending the robber's life and saving Shekhar from certain death. Shekhar, hoping to capture the robbers, asked Molly to take him to their hideout. They arrived only to find it deserted. A seed of suspicion took root in Shekhar's mind, and he accused Molly of being part of the gang. Molly, hurt and furious, challenged his accusation, pointing out that she had saved his life. She turned and walked away, her anger palpable. As Shekhar made his way back, consumed by regret, a leopard attacked him, sending him tumbling into a murky swamp. Molly, retracing Shekhar's steps, discovered him trapped in the swamp. She pulled him from the mire, saving his life once more. Shamed by his previous accusations, Shekhar apologized profusely. Forgiveness was offered, and a bond of friendship formed between them. From then on, Molly became a regular visitor at Shekhar's camp. The tranquility of the night was shattered by a sudden assault on Shekhar's camp. The robbers, emboldened by the darkness, launched a surprise attack. But Shekhar and his companions were ready. A fierce fight erupted, and after a tense struggle, they managed to fend off the attackers. The robbers, seeking revenge, managed to trap Bhima. Molly and Adiyapan, searching for their friend, found him imprisoned in a cage. Adiyapan unlocked the cage, freeing the mighty elephant. Bhima, enraged by his capture, turned the tables on the robbers, scattering them in a stampede. Idea and Action's attempt to infiltrate the robbers' hideout ended in disaster. They were quickly apprehended. Kandapan, enraged by their intrusion, gave the order for their deaths. But fate intervened. Shekhar, sensing danger, arrived at the hideout just as the robbers were about to carry out Kandapan's command. A fierce fight erupted, and in the chaos, Shekhar, along with Idea and Action, managed to break free and escape. Love blossomed between Shekhar and Molly, a connection forged in the heart of the forest. But their budding romance was threatened when Shekhar's mother, unaware of his feelings, arranged his marriage to Mohana. Dharmarajan's discovery of Molly's involvement with Shekhar brought a swift end to their budding romance. He forbade her from seeing him again, his voice grave as he revealed the impending threat. The robbers were preparing to strike Shekhar's camp. Under the cover of darkness, Molly slipped away, determined to warn Shekhar of the impending danger. But her efforts were thwarted when Dharmarajan caught her. He sternly commanded her to go back to the hut. The robbers descended upon Shekhar and his team with brutal force, leaving them no chance to defend themselves. They were captured and bound, their fate hanging in the balance. Shekhar was singled out, tied up in one place, while his team members were taken to a different location, their cries for help lost in the night. Molly, after a desperate search, finally located Shekhar. He pleaded with her to prioritize the rescue of his team, explaining that their lives were in imminent danger. Adi sliced through the ropes holding Shekhar and his companions captive. The freed prisoners, now a united force, launched a counterattack, swiftly subduing the robbers and binding them tightly. Dharmarajan's concern grew as he discovered Molly's empty room. His search for her took a dangerous turn when he was suddenly attacked and injured. The duel between Kandappan and Shekhar was a battle for supremacy, a struggle that culminated in Kandappan's downfall. When Molly came home, the silence screamed at her. The hut was empty. She searched frantically, but Dharmarajan was not there. Bhima discovered Dharmarajan unconscious and aided him. Convinced that Dharmarajan had perished, Shekhar, burdened by grief and a sense of responsibility, escorted Molly back to his hometown. He settled her in a guest house, unaware that his actions would soon become known to his family. The questions came, sharp and pointed. He deflected, denying the bond he shared with Molly. But the weight of his feelings, the undeniable truth, proved too heavy to bear. He confessed his love for her, his longing to marry her. Shekhar's declaration was met with fierce opposition from his family. Action revealed to Molly that Shekhar was being coerced into marriage with Mohana. Meanwhile, Mohana's mother, a woman of ruthless ambition, manipulated a servant, instructing her to lace Molly's meal with poison. Shekhar's mother tried to reason with him, advocating for a marriage to Mohana. Adi stopped Molly from consuming poisoned milk, saving her life. Molly's father's heart skipped a beat as he gazed upon her photograph. It was Lakshmi, reincarnated. The resemblance was undeniable. Overwhelmed with emotion, he immediately journeyed to meet her. At the same time, Molly, desperate and afraid, sought refuge in the dense forest. It was there, amidst the trees, that she met Bhima and received a shocking revelation. Dharmarajan was alive. Dharmarajan's words stung as he criticized her decision to go with Shekhar. Heartbroken, she wandered into the depths of the forest. Shekhar sought out Dharmarajan and clarified that Molly's decision to accompany him was based on the mistaken belief that Dharmarajan had died. As he spoke, Molly's father arrived. Dharmarajan recounted the circumstances of his connection with Molly. His explanation illuminated her background, and everyone present understood who she really was. The group spread out through the forest, searching for Molly. On the verge of taking her own life, Molly spotted Shekhar and fled in panic. In her desperate flight, she stumbled and fell from a cliff's edge. Fortunately, Bhima was nearby and managed to catch her, preventing a tragic end. She was joyfully reunited with her father. Alagan's return was marked by a striking change in appearance and style. This new, modern Alagan won Mohana's heart, and she consented to marriage. Molly, also known as Meena, weds Shekhar. Dharmarajan and Bhima arrived to bless the newlyweds. They live happily ever after.